Yeah, you want to print something like this. Okay, you want to print this pattern, like you have to print the spaces after here, the spaces after here, okay, some spaces, and you need to print this star and some spaces. Okay, take it as divide it into cells, like if this is a screen, okay, divide it into cells, something like this, like grids. How am I actually printing this? Derive a logic like this. See, I'm actually printing star here, the star here, and the star. I'm increasing it, and okay, it is something like, okay, more number of girls. Imagine like this. Like I want to print it. How am I printing this? Just think of the logic. Like something, we have this thing still actually. How am I printing this? How am I printing this? Think of the logic, like how many spaces I'm printing here, how many spaces we have to print, and how we are decreasing it. And like a triangle, I'm printing it like a triangle. Just think of this pattern. Okay, how am I printing this? Okay, this is how you need to think and improve your uh, problem solving ability. And after this, and see, you'll have all the programs. What you need to do is open textbook, maybe Dennis Ritchie, or else visit tutorialspoints.com, tutorialspoints.com, where there you find the programs topic wise. So that take the programs, execute on a editor like Turbo C, or I don't prefer Turbo C, maybe like code blocks. Just know about how to install code blocks and use the code blocks. Okay, just Google it and you will find the videos how to do it and how you can actually run the program on it, and just check out. Okay, so you just take the programs and execute it on the IDE, integrated development environment, in this, and after running is okay, you will understand how the program is actually working. Every program, something like the topics you can think of is control flow, like if, switch, and loops for while, do while, and how list like arrays, structures works. Just think of it and how files do work. Just actually open the tutorials point and you will find the programs for it and explanation. You just try executing it. When you execute and you get the result, you'll enjoy the problems pretty much fine. And also how to write a program for factorial. I think you must be knowing this. Okay, we initialize f equal to 1, then after f equal to f into n minus minus. I suppose we want a factorial of number 5, like yeah, n equal to 5, we declare n equal to 5, and int f equal to 1, like this, n minus minus. We put it on the loop actually, while n not equal to 0. Like this we write it. I'm just saying it, may not be the exact logic. And in the, okay, how to write a functions and how to write a recursive functions. The recursive solution for factorial is n into fact of n minus 1. Yeah, how we can write. And there are some base conditions too, I'm not writing it, but you need to develop your problem solving abilities. After this C programming, maybe in 1 2 or 2 1, you'll be having DS. There you need to learn what are linked list. Before that linked list concept, you need to learn dynamic memory allocation, like malloc, calloc, realloc, and a free function, how you can use this thing, and what is a null macro. You need to know about this. Then create a linked list, and what are stacks. Next, what are queues, and how to implement stack using queues and queue using stacks, and what are infix, postfix, prefix expressions, postfix expressions, something like this. Okay, you'll take a syllabus, just think of the programs, just Google it. Okay, you'll find it on tutorials point or some other website. The programs, you take it, they'll give the explanation, read it, and try executing it, and try writing the programs on your own actually. And I also like this website, Geeks for Geeks. It's my favorite website, geeksforgeeks.com. You can visit it and you can find a tutorial for C programming language, and you go through them. Maybe okay, you may have to learn C++ for DS. Okay, just learn the concept, how to implement it. Just run it in IDE and improve this thing, C++. In the next semester, you may have, after DS, using C++. Okay, DS. After that, next semester you may have design and analysis of algorithms. In design and analysis of algorithms, okay, what is an algorithm and how we can uh, analyze the complexity of an algorithm. Analyze the complexity of an algorithm. Uh, what are the different problem-solving techniques? Something like uh, greedy technique, dynamic programming, branch and bound, backtracking. Go through them. Just check the problem-solving techniques. After you are done with up to here, like design analysis of algorithms, maybe you're done with this syllabus and completely. Now focus on problem solving. Again, complete problem solving. Go to Geeks for Geeks. Take a topic, something like arrays. There are a number of list of questions that were asked in previous interviews and competitive coding. Competitive coding is nothing but it's a coding platforms where you would be competing with other fellows on the platform, checking your coding skills. You just go through the questions, like how the questions are framed and how we can answer to them, how we can code a solution to it. Think of it. Okay, just like this. Okay, practice all the topics, and you'll be having some other international coding competitions like ACM ICPC, Facebook Hacker Cup, Google Code Jam. Just check through this whether I can actually solve these problems. And most probably, dynamic programming problem solving technique is very important. Dynamic programming problem solving technique. It's very important. And what are the problems under it? On Geeks for Geeks, you can find it. For competitive coding, I like personally Code Chef. It's for advanced people, not for beginners. Okay, just go through Hacker Earth, Hacker Rank, SPOJ, Top Coder. These are my favorite websites. Okay, you can go through them and check for the problems that are asked previously, and you can try solving them. See, in this way, you can master and also develop interest for coding while you're in the college. Once you're done with this thing, in the next semester, you may get OOPS along with Java. The same process. Just learn. Okay, what is Java? Who invented it? And how can we write Java programming? Maybe I like the website Java T Point for learning core Java and any Java related technologies. Just go through this Java T Point. Just study this thing. How can we write a basic programs using Java? And what are access specifiers in it? And what are the restrictions do have? What kind of different variables we can declare? How the memory is organized within this Java? And how can we write what a string? Okay, what are different types of string handling classes in Java? You know how files can be accessed. And for JDBC, you must be knowing. You must know DBMS concepts. I'll talk about DBMS soon. Yes, okay. Just know about the language and what are exceptions. And most important concept in this I find is collections. It's nothing but something like DS, data structures and algorithms, which are pre-implemented it. And how can we implement these things? After learning Java, you can also do competitive programming using C++ or Java. C or C++ or Java. I mostly prefer C or C++ for competitive programming because they are pre-compiled, they execute a little bit faster than Java. After you are done with this core Java, in the same semester you may come across the DBMS, database management systems. In this, you need to learn what is a database, What is a database? How does it work? What are different kinds of database? And what are ER diagrams? And conceptual ER diagrams, okay. Then after relational model, what are relational model? And what are functional dependencies? And decomposition. In this, you need to learn lossy, lossless decompositions. And then we have normalizations based on uh, decompositions, okay, functional dependencies. Learn about a normalization. Next, SQL queries. Learn about SQL queries, okay. What are the queries? How can we write a basic queries? What are DDL queries, DML queries, TCL queries, and how can we grant the permission, revoke the permissions? Yeah, you think about it and you just learn about all these things. Install Oracle or MySQL on your uh, PC. Usually these are RDBMS only. You'll have RDBMS, relational DBMS, and how can we? Okay, what is the primary key? What is the foreign key? How can we establish the relations? For this, you can actually learn this from website called sitesbay.com. Yeah, I like sitesbay.com for SQL. You can learn it. You can learn this SQL from here, sitesbay.com or sqlju.com. This way you can understand okay a little bit more about these SQL queries in a much easier fashion. Write about the SQL queries and after learning the SQL, okay, learn about JDBC. Yeah, I said about Java, right? Okay, what are different types of drivers in JDBC? How can we connect our Java program to JDBC? How can we do the operations on it? Okay, learn the JDBC. After learning the JDBC concepts, okay, and you may also have the concept like concurrency. How are concurrent transactions happens within the DBMS? What are the problems of it? And what are different types of schedules? Okay, and what are ACID properties? What is a transaction diagram? Learn of all these things. Schedules based on recoverability, non-recoverability, and when the deadlock occurs. And in a concurrent schedules, okay, something like log-based protocol, you'll have the concepts like this, right? Just learn about them. They are much easy, and you can search for yes, okay, gate materials, CSC gate is notes. Okay, you can search for this. Okay, where you can find the notes for all these things. See, you can read this all from standard textbooks, but I'm saying this thing uh, by putting in mindset this. Okay, the person is maybe a bit lazy but interested, but not interested in reading textbooks a lot. You have to read the textbooks. Okay, that's where you can learn this. And concurrency, a little bit about concurrency, and then after we need to learn about indexing. Yeah, in this single level indexing and multi levels like B trees, B plus trees. You should learn about these MV search trees so that you will be very much good with the syllabus. And there are other important subjects like C and computer networks. Maybe you can buy a textbook like Tannenbaum. Learn about the layering, how different protocols work, and TCP/IP and UDP. The different concepts are within this thing. Okay, just go through this thing. There is actually online video, what we call animation by Tannenbaum. How these things actually work. Okay, just go through this. Read the textbooks. You'd be very much interested towards this. When you send a message, hi, what is happening and how the IP addressing is done, what's happening within your system when you're actually sending the message, how the messages are exchanged between the parties. Then we have operating system. You read the textbook by Galvin uh, along with Tannenbaum. William Stallings is optional. You follow your syllabus, okay, your university syllabus. They'll give the concepts, but that's not enough, okay. Just go through the NPTEL video lectures for it. You might be feeling bored, but it's worth, okay, when you understand, when you have the love for subject. You can learn pretty much better. And next, flat or TOC, formal languages and automated theory, and theory of computations. In this, you can learn what is a formal language, what is a symbol, and what is a DFA and NFA, yeah, epsilon NFA, how to convert this thing, DFA to NFA, NFA to DFA, and what are more mail machine. And you can learn about this thing, but okay, practicality, if you're interested more into the research in this area, you can learn about it. But most important in interviews are computer networks, product based mostly, computer networks, operating systems, and C++, Java, DS, data structures, that is, DBMS, design analysis of algorithms. That plays a major role in it. Flat, TOC. And coming to the mathematics part. In the first year, you may have mathematics 1, M1. You can learn this as much as it's required. You won't be using much, but they are useful. And MFCS or discrete maths, you may come up this in second semester, in third semester, discrete mathematics. You can learn. You have to learn this. This is the basics for computer science. Okay, graph theory, set theory, propositional logic. Just read about it. It will help you in the problem solving a lot. When you try solving the problems on coding, okay, competitive coding platforms, these are very much useful in this actually, especially graph and set theory. You understand this thing well, right? We have seen almost all these subjects: C, C++, DS, DA, Java, and CN, OS, and flat or TOC. And about computer organization. This is one of the important subjects in computer science. Best way you can learn the computer organization is, okay, just know what's the difference between computer architecture and computer organization. What is the hardware point of learning and what is the software point of learning the computers, how the computers are organized. You know how the computers are organized, and we have the processor and what is the architecture we are following in this, and 8085 processor, how these things work actually, what is fetch decode cycle, and what is memory mapping, how we are doing this thing. Yeah, just learn about this thing. You'd be more interested in this computer organization. If you are really good with all these things and you are interested in higher studies, try for gate. I'm saying this at the end of your college, like maybe in third year first semester or third year second semester. Just try preparing for gate, okay. Maybe you can attend a good coaching center, or else you can learn it all by your own by collecting all the standard textbooks. One website I know about it, gateoverflow.com, ravindrababu.com. And Ravindra Babu has few YouTube videos, okay, check them actually. They're really good. And there is also other person with name Kiran Kumar, Possibility. with the name Gatebook. This, okay, and AS Academy, coaching centers like Made Easy. These are I find pretty much good actually if you are targeting for Gate. And if you're preparing for product-based companies right after your BTech, I said you right. Okay, C++, DS, Java, DBMS, OS, computer networks, CO. These subjects are very much important. If I have to order the importance of the subjects, like even right? Okay, this comes under number one, and these two under number two, and these three under number three priority. One, two, three. This is how you have to prioritize this. First, you be good with these things, and one, two. Okay, just be good with one, two. These two things. I said you the platforms like CodeChef and Hacker Earth and Geeks for Geeks. There are lots of blogs. Okay, you can prepare. The Geeks for Geeks has lots of problems. Like take out the problems of Amazon, Google, Microsoft, Adobe. Depending upon it, you have to prepare. Basically, I asked you to prepare these things. Like if you're preparing, okay, targeting tier 1 companies like I listed here, right? Google, Microsoft, Adobe. You have to prepare all these three priorities. If you're preparing for tier 2, something like Oracle, usually these are 12 to 20 lakhs packages. 20 lakhs.